Hello world, it's your Unkle Heavy here. Today I'm on location in Lewiston, New York. Feeling a little bit historical today, so figured I'd come out here, show you some really cool sights. Lewiston is rich in its history, with both the War of 1812 as well as being the end destination of the Underground Railroad. So lots to see today. Gonna show you a lot of cool things. No tickets required. Let's go see what kind of history we can get into. Do come along.
Camcorder. Mine. No way.
So in the middle of this park is this eternal flame. It's kind of hard to see in the daylight, but it says it's dedicated to the men and women of this community who served our country in the time of war. America's flame burns brightly, fueled by the courage and sacrifice of those who've defended our freedoms. Of course, the lovely Mrs. Heavy is here with me as well. What I'm approaching now is called the Tuscarora Heroes Monument. It's right here on the main road. You can see it depicts a member of the Tuscarora tribe assisting one of the citizens of Lewiston while another looks on in safety. So just a little bit of history about this monument and what it stands for. In the early morning of December 19th, 1813, the citizens of this small village found themselves on the front line of the War of 1812. The British Canadians, along with their allies from the First Nations, ran down River Road intent on destroying this village and its occupants. Many citizens were murdered in the rampage. The brave local Tuscarora man ran down from their village atop of the escarpment and offered the first resistance the enemy had ever seen. Despite being outnumbered 30-1, their ingenious and diversionary tactics gave the impression that their numbers were legion. Fearing a trap, the enemy stopped in its tracks. The Tuscaroras were able to buy the escaping residents enough time to get them out of harm's way, saving dozens of Americans' lives. Even to this day, the Tuscarora Nation are an important part of Lewiston and Western New York and their culture. That is the flag of the Tuscarora Nation, flying next to the American flag. Over there looks like a little bit of local history. It's called Jane's Cafe Express, but I'm pretty sure at one time that used to be a photomat. Remember photomats? In front of me is the Freedom Crossing Monument. It honors the courage of the fugitive slaves who sought a new life of freedom in Canada, and the local volunteers who protected and helped them on their journey across the Niagara River. It's named after the book Freedom Crossing. It depicts Laura Eastman, the fictional heroine of the story, pointing her outstretched arm to Canada. The monument also depicts the likeness of Reverend Josiah Tryon, a real person who was Lewiston's volunteer station master on the Underground Railroad. He guided many escapees on their journey and brought them under cover of darkness to Canada in his rowboat. Right across the river is Canada. So shooting across the river, we're looking at Canada. If you look right there, poking up over the tree line, that's Brock's Monument. If you go back to my Niagara Parkway vlog, you could see where Michelle and I actually climbed to the top of that monument. So here we are at the Niagara River in Lewiston. Looking out that way is Lake Ontario. Not too far, you can see it just in the break of the rocks there. If I turn this way, just 7 miles up that way is Niagara Falls. The interesting thing about this area is right here is where Niagara Falls used to be 12,000 years ago. By a process of erosion, it's moved 7 miles upstream. Now looking up here is our little treat for the day. This is a restaurant known as the Silo. This is the world famous Silo. We're gonna go in and get their amazing sandwich known as the Haystack. Once again, posing with my mask. Waiting for my haystack. There's the caboose where you get your ice creams. You can see by the round shape of the building, it's actually built into a former silo. Typically there's tables set up in here that you can eat and take a look at the view across Canada. 12 inches of seasoned ribeye steak with loads of melted mozzarella piled high with toasted hash browns on a hoagie roll with mayo. That is the Haystack. It would appear my food is done. So behold, this is the Haystack. We're gonna just devour this thing, aren't we? This monstrosity is the Haystack. It's amazing. And this is only half of one. Michelle's eating the other half right there. Very good. Very, very good. It was the Travel Channel, Man vs. Food. Adam Richman came up here to eat this sandwich. Well, that was the Haystack. Delicious. So before I leave, there's one last place I want to visit today. So this is the cemetery in the Lewiston First Presbyterian Church. We're here to pay our respects to somebody significant that we mentioned earlier. Now this stone here really has nothing to do with why I'm here, but I just saw it and thought it was really, really cool. Very, very old and just says Jesse. I just love old cemetery stones like this. Here's a couple more really old, but awesome looking headstones. Here it is. I actually walked right past it by mistake. Here's the final resting place of the Reverend Josiah Tryon. As we mentioned before, he was a hero amongst the Underground Railroad and was a key player in assisting the escape of so many runaway slaves. Rest in peace, Reverend. Well, that's going to do it for today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up down below and share with your friends. If you're new to my channel, check out some of my other vlogs. If you like them, please consider subscribing. Make sure you hit that bell so you'll be notified of any future vlogs I put up. Till next time, signing off from Lewiston, New York. Bye-bye.